Community Plate is a relatively new nonprofit here in Maine that has an interesting mission. It is devoted to building community by getting people together so they can share stories and meals. With us here on 207 are the founders, Margaret Hathaway and Carl Schatz. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you guys again.
Oh, great to see you.
You have a very cool event that is coming up on Friday, and we're going to talk about that. But I just want to give people the background, first of all. How did the idea for Community Plate come about, Carl?
Well, it started with the 2 volumes of the Maine community cookbooks that we did, and we saw the connections that people were making on the pages of those books through the recipes they were sharing and the stories they were sharing about those recipes. And as the pandemic sort of receded and we could see opportunities to bring people together in person, we said, let's try to take this off the page and create a series of in-person events.
You have now had nearly 30 of these dinners. How do they work? What do you do?
So people come, it's like a traditional community potluck. People bring food, but we ask people to bring food that has some sort of story behind it and also the recipe for it. And then during the meal, people are sharing stories about what they brought, or we use story prompts to help people come up with stories to share with each other. And then at the end of the meal, we have storytellers who will get up and entertain us. So it's like dinner and a show.
Pretty simple idea, but not something that we see much of anymore, of simply people getting together for these kind of community potluck suppers. What kind of a response have you gotten?
It's been overwhelmingly positive. It's been just incredible to go into communities, to meet people, to see people who live in the same community but may not know each other, interact in a space where they're bringing their A game of food and they're bringing stories about their family, about themselves. It's beautiful. It's a privilege to be a part of it, and it seems to really be something that people love.
We all know that there are plenty of divisions in America these days, but one thing that does bring people together is food.
Yeah,
yes. And if people have differing opinions about food, they usually can express them in a playful way. So, they can kind of get things out, but in a way that's respectful and fun.
All right, you got this cool event that's coming up on Friday. What is happening, Carl?
So we're celebrating Pie Day. So Friday is March 14th, 3.14. And so we're playing, with pie and the circular nature of pies.
3.14 for the mathematicians.
Yeah, for the mathematicians.
Actual pie for the food lovers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a pie-themed potluck. People are bringing sweet pies and savory pies, and we'll have a potluck meal. And then we have chefs from really all over the state, mostly kind of southern Maine, but all over, and some great home bakers as well, who have made or are making pies that will have like a silent auction and maybe a live auction of some of these pies, and that the money is the fundraisers to support the work that we're doing through Community Plate.
One of the things you told me before we started sitting down, you told me that one of the things you've learned along the way is that people want a little bit less talk at these suppers and they want to get to the food.
Yeah, we're hoping that by having like an assortment of pies, they can let their eyes feast while we talk. And then
you've got some really good chefs who are going to be here for this event, making pies.
Amazing. We have Josh Berry, we have pies from Rosemont, Norimoto Bakery, Maine
Ugly
Greens,
Duckling.
Ugly Duckling. Elma Lopez is making a pie. It's going to be spectacular.
Yeah, some really great pies.
But we should emphasize that when you have the suppers, the idea is not that you have to have gourmet food. The idea is to bring the food that you love, and especially food that has been part of your family for a long time, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the emphasis on fancy pies is because it's a fundraiser. In general, really, we just want people to get together over food that they love and they're excited to share.
Yeah, and all of our other events, all the other suppers we do are free. So there's a suggested donation for this because it's a fundraiser, but the suppers we're doing around the state are open to the public and free to attend because we feel really strongly that economic barriers shouldn't be a barrier to participation in community.
And you're trying to go all over the state. You've now hit 12 out of 16 counties. You want to get to those other 4. You've had 29 of these dinners, and the event on Friday will be number 30.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's really impressive what you've accomplished.
Thank you.
And who doesn't love pie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Save room for it.
Thank you so much, Margaret, Carl. Great to see you as always. So it's the Community Plate Pie Day celebration and fundraiser. It's happening at Wolf's Neck Center in Freeport on Friday. We've got all the information in a link on our app and website. Just head to the 207 section. Stay with us. Back in a moment.